Nestled at the foot of Japan's Mount Fuji lies a decaying relic of a theme park, Gulliver's Kingdom. Once intended to be a grand attraction celebrating Jonathan Swift's famous tale, the park now stands as a chilling reminder of dreams gone wrong. The crumbling statues, dilapidated rides, and eerie silence make it a favorite spot for urban explorers and thrill seekers. But beneath the rust and rot lies something far more unsettling, a haunting that has gripped the site since it was abandoned in 2001. This is the true story of Gulliver's Kingdom and the spirits that refuse to leave. In the mid-1990s, the Japanese government, eager to boost tourism, funded the construction of Gulliver's Kingdom. The park's centerpiece was an enormous 147-foot-long statue of Lemuel Gulliver, bound and lying flat on his back, just as in the story. Surrounding him were various attractions themed after the book's adventures, including castles, rope courses, and Lilliputian villages. It was an ambitious project, intended to capture the imagination of visitors of all ages, but there was something fundamentally wrong with the location. The park was built near Aokigahara, the infamous Suicide Forest, known for its history of despair and tragedy. The area was also close to the infamous compound of Aum Shinrikyo, the cult responsible for the deadly 1995 Tokyo subway sarin gas attack. This dark proximity seemed to cast a shadow over Gulliver's Kingdom from the very start. Despite its grand opening, the park struggled to attract visitors. Its isolated location, combined with the eerie energy of the surrounding area, kept people away. Financial troubles mounted, and after just 4 years, the park was abandoned, left to decay among the trees and mist. But as the structures rotted and rusted, rumors began to spread of something more sinister lingering in the park. After its closure, urban explorers and locals seeking a thrill began venturing into the abandoned park. They reported strange occurrences that couldn't be easily explained. Footsteps echoed on empty pathways. Shadows moved without a source, and the giant statue of Gulliver seemed to watch visitors with hollow, lifeless eyes. One group of explorers claimed that while taking photos near the giant Gulliver statue, they heard faint whispers. Thinking it was the wind, they ignored it, but the whispers grew louder, forming what sounded like desperate pleas for help. They quickly left, shaken by the feeling of being watched. Upon reviewing their photos later, they found shadowy figures that hadn't been there before, faint outlines of people standing among the ruins. Another story tells of a couple who entered the park at dusk. As they wandered through the overgrown paths, they noticed a woman dressed in white standing near one of the abandoned buildings. Assuming she was another explorer, they approached, but as they got closer, she vanished. The couple later learned that sightings of a ghostly woman in white were not uncommon in the area, believed to be the spirit of someone who had taken her life in the nearby forest. The most chilling tales center around the massive Gulliver statue itself. With its eyes wide open and its face twisted in an unsettling expression, the statue has been the source of countless reports of paranormal activity. People claim to have seen its eyes move or felt an overwhelming sense of dread when standing near it. Some believe that the statue is cursed, a magnet for the restless spirits of the nearby forest. One night, a group of teenagers decided to spend the night in the park, drawn by the thrill of the haunted location. As they gathered around a fire, they dared each other to approach the statue. One boy, braver than the rest, walked up to Gulliver and placed his hand on the cold, weathered surface. He immediately felt a jolt of cold surge through his body, followed by a whisper directly in his ear. "Leave now." Terrified, he ran back to the group, but the voice followed him, echoing in his mind until they left the park. In another instance, a professional photographer visited the park alone, hoping to capture the decay and desolation on film. As she set up her camera near the statue, she felt a sudden chill, despite the warm weather. She ignored it and began taking pictures, but her camera malfunctioned repeatedly, refusing to focus. When she finally reviewed the few images she managed to take, she was horrified. The photos showed not just the statue, but faint outlines of people lying around it, bound in the same manner as Gulliver, their faces contorted in fear. One of the most disturbing stories involves a sighting of a different apparition, a woman in red. This figure has been seen wandering the park, usually near the entrance, where she appears to be searching for something. Witnesses describe her as wearing a traditional red kimono, with her hair loose and unkempt. Unlike other spirits, she doesn't vanish abruptly, but instead seems to glide away, fading into the mist that often blankets the area. A group of paranormal investigators visited the park in 2010, equipped with cameras and recording devices. As they set up near the entrance, they saw the woman in red standing in the distance. Thinking it was another explorer, they called out, but she didn't respond. Instead, she turned slowly and began to move towards them. The investigators described feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness and despair, as if the woman's emotions were washing over them. As she neared, their equipment began to malfunction, and the air grew unbearably cold. In a matter of seconds, she disappeared, leaving behind an eerie silence. When reviewing their footage, they found the cameras had captured the moment the woman in red appeared, but as she moved closer, the footage became distorted, filled with static and inexplicable noise. The investigators left the park convinced that whatever haunted Gulliver's kingdom was not just a figment of imagination, but something real and deeply unsettling. Gulliver's kingdom remains a ghostly monument to failed dreams and the lingering presence of something darker. The park's tragic location, near sites of death and despair, seems to have infused it with a haunting energy that persists to this day, whether it's the restless spirits of Aokigahara or the echoes of those who suffered nearby. Gulliver's kingdom is a place where the past refuses to be forgotten. Despite its decay, the park continues to attract those seeking to experience the paranormal. But visitors beware. Once you enter Gulliver's kingdom, you may leave with more than just memories. The whispers, shadows, and apparitions are not just stories. They are reminders that some places are better left undisturbed, forever haunted by the souls that linger in the dark.